If I'm miserable, if I'm upset, if I'm angry, if I'm cranky, it is my responsibility because it's based on what I'm thinking or believing in that moment. Envy can be inspiring and instructive. If you're envious of someone's results, just let that fuel you ahead. The number one most common regret of folks who were on their deathbed was this.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
She's Marie Forleo, and here's my take on her Top 10 Rules of Success, Volume 3. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Take responsibility.
I try and play this practice of, if I ever feel like in any moment life is not going the way that I think it should be going, it's because I'm resisting what is. If someone didn't turn in their work on time and I'm just like, getting that way, or something didn't come out right, or the delivery doesn't come, or the technology breaks again, we can list anything in that slot, right? It's me arguing with reality. I'm making myself miserable in that moment because I'm choosing to argue with what is. That's always a losing proposition. So the more awareness I can bring to that and go like, is this really how you want to live your life in this moment, Marie? Because every single moment, as you know, sets you up for the next moment. And you string these moments together, and guess what? You have your life until we get to that incredible deathbed. We never know when that's coming. So every single moment is an opportunity for us to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. And so I just try and play the game. If I'm miserable, if I'm upset, if I'm angry, if I'm cranky, it is my responsibility because it's based on what I'm thinking or believing in that moment. It's not the outside world causing me to feel this. It's what I'm doing up here that's making me have that reaction. And if I'm the problem, I am also the solution.
Rule number 2, create a minimal viable action.
Whether you run a business, a nonprofit, or you just want to be more effective in getting people to say yes, I think you're going to find this fascinating. Dr. Robert Cialdini, author of the classic book on persuasion called Influenced, studied the donations process at the American Cancer Society. He found that the number one game changer in gaining more donations was one tiny language tweak. Let's have a look. Which one of these might make you more likely to donate? Would you be willing to help by giving a donation? Or would you be willing to help by giving a donation? Every penny will help. Now check this out. Research showed that people who were asked the second version were almost twice as likely to make a donation. While only 28% gave money with the first call to action, 50% donated when the call to action included that one extra sentence, every penny will help. So let's break this down. You see, when you give people a small, easy action to take, it can double their chances of saying yes. By adding a simple sentence, you're creating what's known as a minimum viable action, the smallest possible action someone could take to create the change you want. Now, obviously, this doesn't just work for nonprofits. In fact, you've probably been offered a minimum viable action at your favorite stores. Here's an example. So a few weeks ago, I was at the Container Store because I KonMari'd the crap out of my closet, #SparkJoy. So when I was checking out, they asked me if I was a member of POP, their perfectly organized perks program. I said, I am not. They said, oh, it is so easy. All we need is your phone number and you will get an extra 15% off. I was like, oh, okay. Saving money is like making money. Here is my phone number. I want to be a popper like yesterday. And look, this isn't just about business either. I mean, you can use this same strategy to double your chances of getting yes, even in your own head. For example, if you've made a commitment to exercise more, which of these internal scripts is more likely to get you moving? I need to work out today. Or, I need to work out today. A 5-minute dance break is better than nothing. Now, I don't know about you, but I am way more likely to get moving with that second option.
Rule number 3, track your successes and stumbles.
Track your successes and your stumbles. So for example, every year I do a year in review. I write down each year's successes and my stumbles, and most important, what I've learned from them all. So this way I have this very factual list of what I've accomplished and the mistakes I made along the way. And I can see that not only did those mistakes not ruin me, but they help me get stronger and they help me get better, which makes me less afraid of making more of them in the future.
Rule number 4, just be yourself.
When I first started as a business person, I was 23 years old, and I was so insecure. In my mind, starting a life coaching business as a 23-year-old, like the logical part of my mind was like, who the hell is going to hire a 23-year-old life coach? This is the dumbest, silliest, stupidest thing you've ever tried in your life. And I had been on Wall Street, I'd worked in the magazine industry, I had done all these things and basically hit all these different walls. And when I was trying to figure out how to be an entrepreneur at 23, and this is like the late 90s, early 2000s, this is at the very beginning of all things digital, I felt like I didn't fit in. You know, I was trying to live into this idea of who I thought a businesswoman would be, with like big shoulder pads and, you know, a corner office, and tried to write an online newsletter at that time that was like uber professional, and it was lifeless. I wasn't getting anywhere because I wasn't being me. And I'm just a girl from New Jersey who was brought up in a very, kind of normal middle-class way. No one in my family ever went to college. My parents, my mom especially, you know, she curses like a sailor. So I had this very unique upbringing, and I was trying to fit myself into this idea of who I thought I should be, and it wasn't working. So it wasn't until I actually allowed myself to just be the weird, wacky, energetic, kind of a little bit crazy person that I am, that things actually started to work. And so now it's been almost 20 years of doing this, and I've seen it time and time again, where people tend to feel stuck and stifled, where they tend to feel like their life force is just drained out of them. There gets to be despair and depression. They just feel stuck, is when they're not expressing the fullness of who they really are. They're trying to fit themselves into a conventional box. They're trying to live up to other people's expectations. They're trying to be someone who they really aren't, because they're afraid that the real them is going to get rejected.
Also, if you want to learn from Marie Forleo and other successful women entrepreneurs, check out my 254 Girl Boss series. It's free, and the link is in the description below.
When I was bartending, I was fully bartending. Like, I wasn't talking to myself about, oh my God, I should be dancing right now, or I should be working on my coaching practice.
Rule number 5, create an A+ experience.
JetBlue has done something really impressive. They've taken the top spot in J.D. Power's North American Airline Satisfaction Study for 12 consecutive years. Create an A+ experience right out of the gate. Or in this case, before the gate. Here's what I mean. When I got to the JetBlue terminal at JFK, something was different. It felt different. It was more calm and spacious, and the design had this uber intentional kind of vibe to it. There were a ton of check-in stations, like more than I'd ever seen, which meant there was no wait time for me to check myself in. There were clear directions and clear signage, and more than enough JetBlue employees around if needed. Now, I would love you to think about your business. So from the very second that someone says yes to your product or your service, how can you give them this royal treatment? You know, you don't need a whole team of flight attendants, right? It could be as simple as a series of emails that welcome your customers and really make them feel taken care of and appreciated and already enticed to come back again.
Rule number 6, express positive energy.
The fact that your energy gets embedded into your communications, we all know that, right? Like, you've received the email that's curt and you can just almost feel the punch in the face that comes through. You've gotten the text where you're like, they are definitely pissed at me. I believe, and I do this a lot with email marketing, especially in our business, every time I sit down to write a new email, I want the other person who receives this email, to the best of my ability, to feel the love and the energy and the respect and the excitement that I have, not only for the idea that I'm about to share, but for the impact it could have on their life. I want them to feel all of me. You know, if I'm sitting there writing an email and I'm like just feeling flaccid, I mean, what's that copy going to be like? it's not going to be any good. But if I'm there and I'm like playful and I'm excited about it, so that excitement is conveyed. And when someone's looking through their inbox and they see something from me, 9 times out of 10, because I'm consistent, they know if they click open, it's going to be a good time, right? There's going to be love in that email. There's going to be an energy to that email that's different. And I mean, you've probably experienced this in your own life in simple ways. When someone makes a request of you, they care to even put an emoji because it's not just them trying. It's like that was a genuine expression of their excitement. I'm sure if your wife asks you for something and her energy is such that there's love embedded in it, you're 100 times more likely to want to say yes, right?
100% correct.
Yes. So we all feel this stuff. And I think that if you can consciously begin to practice it, then you're going to notice the impact and the results.
Rule number 7, turn envy into action.
Envy can be inspiring and instructive. If you're envious of someone's results, just let that fuel you ahead. The fact that they did it means that it can be done and that you can do it too. So just give them a high five and a soul shake. Second, realize that envy is often a clue that there's something latent in you that needs to be expressed. So let that envy trigger you in a beautiful way. Let it guide you to where you need to take some more action in your own life. So next time, Anne, that you're feeling some envy, don't feel embarrassed. Just remember this tweetable. Don't hide your envy, ride your envy. From she has what I want to I'll have what she's having.
Rule number 8, live the life you want to live.
Ronnie was a palliative nurse who sat by the bedsides of the terminally ill for years, and she discovered that the number one most common regret of folks who were on their deathbed was this: I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I gotta tell you, every time I read that or say it, it gets me in the gut. It's one of those truths that I think is worth revisiting to make sure that we're really living the life that we want to live, not the life others expect of us. So the cue I want you to A today actually has 3 parts. Part number 1, what's one thing you're doing right now, not because it's true for you, but because you feel it's expected from you? Part number 2, what's one courageous change you'd like to make to be more true to yourself? And part number 3, what's the first action step you can take now? Now, don't just think about this in your head. I want you to leave a short comment below because it will help you actually make that change happen. Promise.
Rule number 9, lift yourself up.
Hey, Marie. I'm really struggling with imposter syndrome. No matter how many people tell me I'm amazing and have really helped them, no matter how much progress I make in my business and life, I still feel like it's all a fluke and I actually suck and I should give up. Most people who are high achievers feel this way, but never talk about it. It's like this dirty little secret that everyone's afraid to admit. Now, I will tell you right now, I still feel this way, and I've been doing what I'm doing for almost 2 decades. My friend Brene Brown says this: as a shame researcher, I know that the very best thing to do in the midst of a shame attack is totally counterintuitive. Practice courage and reach out. A to the men, Brene, and amen to you, Z, for sharing with this question. You know why? Because shame always shrivels when you share it out loud. So here's what to do to take this even further. What I want you to do is put a few people on speed dial for when that fraud festival comes to town, and it won't go away. These folks are your new hashtag fraud squad, people who you can jump on a call with and just say something like, hey guys, I'm feeling like I kind of suck right now. Can you remind me why I don't? Now, naturally, you should be willing to return the favor. You want to be that person who's always lifting others up and reminding them of how great they are, especially when they can't see it for themselves.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is speak it, write it, be it.
My question: how can I go about projecting myself as a writer first and a teacher second? What business steps can I take to make this transformation? Thank you for all you do, Christina. All right, so Christina, we got some good answers for you today. There's actually 3 very simple, very effective things that you can do right now to make that transformation and make it happen fast. The first one is speak it. So words have tremendous power. All you got to do next time you find yourself at a cocktail party, just say you're a writer first. So anytime you introduce yourself, talk about writing, talk about your books, talk about everything else before you start saying you're a teacher, and that's going to make a huge difference. So what we like to say is just do it. Just do it. Just do it, Christina. Number two, you want to write it. So all language that goes out into the world, think about this. What does your email signature say? What does your business card say? What about any social media profiles? The very first thing that you should have is ding, 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 writer. So if you don't have writer as the first thing listed on all of your written paraphernalia, go and make that change right now. I'll wait. Do it? Did you just do it? Okay, good. Number three, and this is the most important one of all, is be it. You have to write as much as you can. So if you don't have a blog, I would highly suggest you start blogging. Perhaps journaling will be more your thing, but just really be the writer that you actually are. And it becomes pretty simple. If you're doing something habitually, you're writing every day, you're putting out blog posts, you're publishing more books, naturally it's gonna be the first thing that pops out of your mouth.
Now, I've got a special bonus clip from Marie on how to start a hype file that I really think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching another video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1, how can you lift yourself up today? Number 2, where do you need to turn envy into action? And number 3, what does that minimal viable action look like for you?
Start a hype file. Now, you may have heard of a swipe file, and I'm suggesting that you start a hype file. This is a place where you can keep a running list of compliments and thank yous and any comments from people who've shared how you've helped them. So the next time you're feeling like a fraud, all I want you to do is open up that hype file.
Marie is a living miracle.
If loving Marie is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Marie, best show ever!
I got your logo tattooed on my...
You inspired me to start a business.
You inspired me to start 10 businesses.
And let them remind you that yes, you are the real deal.
If you want more Marie Forleo, check out the other top 10 rules video I made of her. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I have been this way, meaning goofy, silly, since I was very, very little. You walk around your day and you're like, wow, I have so many things to do. And I'm like, wait a minute.